where we scored them, you can probably see better from this side. We have a little, where our box is in the corner, we need to cut that out. Doesn't have to be an exact science, but we need to cut the corners out just on a little bit of an angle. So we are going to fold that over, and you won't really see it a lot because we're going to round the corners. Okay, this is just the way I do it, but it doesn't really matter, but I just have it facing me. I take all the tape covers off, all of them, before I start folding. It doesn't really matter where you start, but I like to do opposite sides. So if I'm going to start at the bottom, just bend it along the score mark and just ease it over. And it's nice and neat and straight then. And then I flip it around and I do its opposite side. It doesn't matter if you start on the sides, but it probably doesn't really matter if you don't do its opposite side, but I just think it looks neater. Flip it around and do the sides. And just grab a bone folder and just burnish that down so it's well stuck, especially when you're getting here in the spine and just this little bit here over our card slots. There we go. Now we flip it over. I use the 1/4 inch side of my corner chomper and I just chop the corners. Turn it over so that we're looking at the right side again. We need to flip it over. This is directional paper, so it's easier to tell, but sometimes if your paper's not directional, you'll need to double check and make sure that you have actually got the bottom here, because you can put the pockets on upside down, which I have done. This is directional, so not so bad. We can tell at a glance that we're on the right side. So we'll grab our 2 bits that we scored previously, that are going to be our pockets. So we have a score line on 3 sides. So where we don't have a score line, which will be the top of our pocket, we have that at the top. So have our 2 right sides facing up, and I put them together like this. Easier for me to cut them right. Now I grab a pencil and my ruler. So from our bottom score line, which is here, might be hard for you to see, but I come up 2 inches from the bottom score line and put a little mark in the margin, like in the fold, which is going to be hidden, we won't see it. And I do the same on the one opposite it. Then I come over here to its opposite side. So we've made our score mark there. We've made our score mark here. I come over here to the top, swivel it around, and I come in 1 1/4 inches and put a little mark. Do the same on this one. We go to the opposite side of where we put our mark, to the top where we don't have a score line, and put a little mark. Now we join up those lines and cut that corner off. Do the same with this one. So we should have something like that, or like that, as long as they're opposite each other. Now I just grab my scissors and I just round that corner a little bit. It also cuts off the mark that I've just put on there. See how I've only just rounded that, just taken off the sharp corner. Okay, so while we've got our right sides up, put our 1/2 inch tape on all the way to the edge. And I tend to get near the edge, not too close to the score mark. Same on the other one. And on this short side here, I leave that little bit longer when I put the tape on, because this is angled, and if I'd cut it off straight, I wouldn't have gone right to the edge of the corner, and I want to have complete coverage there, because that takes a bit of a hammering, that corner of the pocket. Okay, so where we had our score lines meet again in the corners, those little boxes, we need to cut them out the same as we did on the cover. I also cut off that little bit of tape that overran the edge. And on this end here, I just cut that little corner off. It just sits neater. Okay, so now we need to flip them over so our tape is facing down. Our bottoms, where we've got tape, fold them up. So I do the bottoms first and then the sides along the score lines. Turn it over, grab your bone folder and give it a good burnish. Same on this one, bottom first, and then the two sides. It'll make sense why we do that in a minute. Fold over and burnish all our sides. Okay. So now I flip them back over, and our bottom tape, just the bottom tape only, I take the tape off, the cover off. And then I can fold my sides over my bottoms, and that'll hold. Grab my corner chomper, cut the corners off, because these are the two bottoms that need to match up. Same with the other one. Fold our sides over and they'll stick. Chomp our corners. Okay, bring our cover in. Make sure, if it wasn't directional, that we are going to be putting them on the bottom. Take our other two pieces of tape off. Now the short side, we have a short side and a long side. Short side goes on the inside, but what I do is start by matching up our corners that have been chomped, and I just hold that while I match up the side. So I've got that side. Then I come along here and hold it down to the bottom. Make sure that is well burnished on. We do the same to the other one. Short side in the middle, match up our corners, and our side, and our bottom, and burnish it on. Now, the two score lines that are in the centre that we scored, which forms part of the spine, we need to fold on that. So I flick it over, because we can see the score lines on the piece of reinforcement we put in the spine as well. And it's pretty easy, they'll just bend, and then you'll be able to turn it over, fold it on the line, Flip it over and do the other side. And there we have our spine. So there we go. There's our folder. On the inside, we have our large pocket in here, behind here. Another large pocket in here, nice neat edges. We have 2 pockets to slide bits and pieces under here, and we have our card slots. Flip it over. We have a large pocket here and a large pocket here. What I also do is I just get a single hole punch and I just take a little notch out in the spine on either end, and it stops it sliding around in your cover. So there we go. Now we'll do a giveaway. If you would like this folder, just like and leave a comment on this video, and I'll do a draw in 1 week's time from today, and that person will get the folder. So good luck. Thanks everybody. Hope you found it useful.